wants to crush any sort of dialogue that could be had regarding these subjects. It's quite disgraceful, isn't it? Imagine if people like this had any modicum of power in the world. What a world we'd live in. Hello, do you have a YouTube channel as well? You want to put me on your YouTube channel?
Not saying.
What's your channel?
What's yours?
Counterculture News.
Congratulations.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. You know what they say.
So last week I was scrolling through Facebook and I came across something that I couldn't quite scroll past. It was an upcoming protest by the infamous leftist
Extinction Rebellion.
Extinction Rebellion.
Extinction Rebellion.
Yeah, this Extinction Rebellion is just ridiculous.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Extinction Rebellion is a climate change activist group. Now, there are activist groups. And then there's Extinction Rebellion. Some of the things that they've been known to do are blocking off streets, blocking off trains and bridges, blocking commuters on their way to work. More recently, they blocked off an intersection by putting themselves into body bags to signify that we're all going to die. They also blocked off an intersection in Brisbane with canoes to signify that the world is flooding and that we better have our rafts ready. So basically they think that the whole world is burning and that every single natural disaster that happens in the world is attributed to climate change and that we're all going to go extinct. Hence the name Extinction Rebellion. So when I saw this opportunity arise, it was one that I couldn't quite surpass. So I decided to get down to Bowen Hills at the News Corp headquarters for the protest. Now the reason why they're doing this protest at News Corp was to protest against Murdoch Media and the Australian newspaper and encourage them to, quote, tell the truth, unquote. Now what is that truth, you might be asking? Well, let's try and find out.
Please don't heed the media, they feed to you and treat like an encyclopedia. I plead with you. There's greed in the way that they breed in you. Can you see the seething masses that take master classes with TV like they've got 3D glasses? It all passes from the asses of the stupid white men in the upper classes. I'm gonna have to write another verse at some mistake.
I got you, homie.
Please don't heed the media, they feed to you and treat like an encyclopedia. I plead with you. There's greed in the way that they breed in you. Can you see the seething masses that take master classes with TV like they've got 3D glasses? It all passes from the asses of the stupid white men in the upper classes.
Okay guys, we're here today at the Extinction Rebellion protest. It is a very peaceful protest which we love. We've already got, before we've even turned the cameras on, we've got old mate over here with the speakerphone. He's trying to stop us from getting any interviews. So clearly they don't really value discussion, don't value dialogue, but we'll see how we go because so far it's been entertaining. There's been a few raps, a few songs. I even managed to get myself a climate change outfit, which I was really happy with. How you doing?
What are you talking about?
Just about the protest, about what's happening today. Yeah. What are you guys here for?
No, I'm not the one to ask.
These guys are kind of right wing, so I wouldn't like take
No, I said I'm not the one to ask.
Oh, cool, yeah.
I wanted to listen to what you were saying.
Yeah, cool. So basically what we're here for today is because we cover protests around the city, and obviously Extinction Rebellion gets a pretty bad rap in some ways because they have been known to cordon off street corners and stuff like that. So we basically wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth.
How else can people be aware that it's annoying?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
There are plenty of different ways.
That the climate, like what?
The fuck are you talking about?
Well, for example, peaceful protests like this are fantastic. I don't trying to stop your right to do peaceful protests whatsoever. I support that, but what I'm trying to understand today is what exactly the philosophies of Extinction Rebellion are.
Oh, well then ask one of the organisers.
Oh, so you're not a part of the organisation? Yeah? Okay, cool. Cool. No worries. Veganicist.
So as you can see here, guys, our friend here is a self-proclaimed vegan, an anarchist, a Palestinian supporter, or anti-Israel. He's a Black Lives Matter apologist, a member of Antifa, and an advocate of open borders. People like this, who are so ideologically ensconced within their echo chamber, are the reason why cancel culture is happening. They are the people on Twitter who are bringing up things from 10 years ago that you did. They are people who are shouting down speakers and not allowing them to speak if they are ideologically opposed to them. And they are killing and crushing free speech within our society.
Now, I've made the grave error of telling our friend here my politics. But I'm a libertarian, centre-right, socially quite liberal, fiscally quite conservative, and he's not happy about it. Obviously, wants to crush any sort of dialogue that could be had regarding these subjects. It's quite disgraceful, isn't it? Imagine if people like this had any modicum of power in the world. What a world we'd live in. Hello. Do you have a YouTube channel as well? You want to put me on your YouTube channel?
Not saying.
What's your channel?
What's yours?
Counterculture News.
Congratulations.
Cool.
I've been waiting for this chance to leave behind the daily grind for something significant. With temperatures and oceans rising. Some say it's all too late.
Was that, buddy?
This is our chance.
Was that? Did you say something? Too scared?
I said you weren't here in good faith.
I'm here for conversation. You're not here in good faith. You don't know anything about me. Doesn't want to talk. That's what happens when you can't back up your opinions, though, guys. Afternoon, guys. You here for the protest?
Just let you know, this guy, I got a feeling, and he doesn't
Cool.
seem, he's a bit of a right-wing troll, is what I'm guessing.
You don't have
I'm
to
just
if you
letting
don't
people
want to.
know
I
that
just literally chat about what the purpose of Extinction Rebellion is. That's
I
all.
don't want to talk.
Hey guys, loved your poem before. That was awesome. When did you write that?
I wrote that in. A bit of a right-wing troll.
Are you,
What the vibe I'm getting?
mate? Please,
That's the
please.
vibe I'm
It's,
getting.
we're just having a
Just letting
conversation.
you know, you guys can
He's a
talk
big boy.
everything, you know.
He can have a conversation if he
people
wants.
know, that's
He's
all.
a big boy. You can take a step back. He can have a conversation if he wants. Okay. Basically, what we're doing, mate, we have a page called Counterculture News. We cover all different kinds of protests around the city, and basically, obviously, Extinction Rebellion at times has gotten some pretty bad publicity because they've cordoned off street corners. Like,
Extinction Rebellion's doing really well.
yeah,
We've got about 80% approval rate.
yeah. In terms of
people who think that we should be doing more to solve the climate crisis.
Right.
It's up to 80% now.
and what exactly
Do you
are?
think we should do that?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I
Why do
completely
you think
support
we
your
should?
right to peaceful protest.
No. Do you think we should do something about the planet burning?
Yeah, absolutely, totally. I don't think the planet's necessarily burning.
What do you think about those bushfires that happened?
Well, I don't think you can necessarily attribute that to climate change.
Are you joking?
I think that the Morrison government had a
Those
problem with that.
trees haven't burned for 10,000 years.
How about the fact that the
Rainforests
Greens
haven't
didn't allow any controlled
No,
burns?
did you just hear what I said?
Yeah, I did.
There were rainforests
Yep.
that hadn't burned for 10,000 years.
Yeah.
So what do you think that means?
But also,
You're giving them food.
sorry, buddy. He's a big boy. He can chat for himself.
When
Thank you.
when temperature rises,
Yeah.
things burn.
Are you aware though that the indigenous people of the land used to do controlled burns, and that would actually stop bushfires from happening? And then ecosystems would be able to flourish in those areas. They would hunt there, then they would move to the next area. They would do another controlled burn. Do you think that the Greens are restricting that from happening?
The
Potentially,
Greens
add
weren't
slightly.
in power, mate. The Greens did not have the power to do any restrictions. It's
But-
been the Liberals and Labor who have been in power.
Look.
And the Liberals actually sacked the fire
Yes.
brigade
Yeah.
in New South Wales.
Yeah, bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree, man.
So I'm glad you agree.
Yeah.
Because the Liberals really screwed things up.
There's a few questions I really wanted to get to the bottom of though, because as much as you think that you guys have a good approval rating, personally, I've heard some negative things about it. I think that you guys can tend to get no.
You're a little right-wing bubble.
I think you're caricaturing me.
The sad thing about it is that this viewpoint that you're promulgating.
What do you think the viewpoint is that I'm promulgating?
You're
What is the
promulgating a
viewpoint?
viewpoint of the minority group that is running our country. And that
What do you think my viewpoint is?
Do you know what the minority group that's running our country is?
What do you think my viewpoint is? What do you think my viewpoint is?
I think your viewpoint is basically the viewpoint of the billionaires who are ruining our planet.
Which is?
Well, that global warming is a farce, it's a scam, Maybe it's something that is set up by Big Solar, which doesn't actually even exist.
I actually think that climate change is one of the most pressing issues of our generation. I think that
Why aren't you doing
there's
anything about
copious.
it?
Well, if you let me finish my sentence, so there's copious evidence that the climate is changing and that human beings are having an impact on that. The only questions I have is regarding the cost-benefit analysis of the goals of Extinction Rebellion. So if you could outline the goals of Extinction Rebellion, if you were in power tomorrow, if you could make some sweeping changes, what would they be?
To make sure we don't all go extinct.
What would those changes be?
That's the goal. Have a livable future. A goal where we don't extinct. Where, those floods they had down in Sydney the other day? You look it up in the CSIRO, the projection for 2100 is that those floods will be 1 in every other day due to sea level rise.
But what would, if you could put some tangible goals...
This is serious.
I know, but you can't just...
You didn't hear what I just said.
You said that there's been floods...
You are not connecting emotionally to the catastrophic changes that are happening right now.
Oh, I am. Believe me, I am.
It's a game to you.
But is there anything that, like a tangible policy that you would put in place?
Look,
because obviously it's going to come from policy change. Like, why are you standing here?
Do you think mass starvation is something that's a game?
No, not at all.
Okay, so why aren't you doing anything
Are you aware
about
that the poverty rates of abject absolute poverty have halved since the year 2000 to the year 2015?
The abject poverty rates.
$1.90 a day. That's the UN rate of abject poverty. It's halved from the year 2000.
Are you aware that last year we had the highest on-record displacement due to climate change ever?
Yes.
17 million people displaced due to climate change.
But if you could have a cost-benefit analysis, on one side you've got half of the... No, you have to let me finish. On one side you've got half of the world's poverty. The world's poverty has been halved in 15 years. On the other side, you've got 17 million people. I'm talking about billions of people.
You're saying development versus environment is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we're not saying that development is necessarily against the environment. We just want to make sure we're doing it in the smart way. Okay?
Yeah. So what about the impact that India and China have? Because if they don't come to the table with what you guys are saying, then there's next to no chance.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you've mentioned that, right? So India and China are, like any other country, influenced by all the other countries in the world.
Fuck you.
What do you think about Greta Thunberg's new speech? Blah, blah.
We say no more blah, blah, blah. No more exploitation of people and nature and the planet. No more exploitation. No more blah, blah, blah.
Why are you asking me that?
Have you ever heard of a guy called Boyan Slut? Have you ever heard of a guy called Boyan Slut?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you ever follow the ocean cleanup? He wants to clean up half of the Great Pacific Patch by 2025.
Oh, right, plastic.
Yeah.
We're more concerned with, mass extinction. Yeah.
Okay, you don't think plastic has something to do with that?
Plastic is a concern, but it's not the main concern.
Right.
It's a distraction.
How about that there are more trees today in the Northern Hemisphere
you're just
than ever before?
You're just making stuff up.
Do you think that climate change is a bigger deal?
Making stuff up.
Is climate change a bigger deal than clean drinking water? Access to clean drinking water. Is it a bigger deal? See ya. Bye. Why am I an idiot? You didn't hear what I said. Is that your girlfriend? We're idiots. Around Brizzy here.
Oh yeah. Your own little channel or something?
Yeah, it's called Counterculture News. Yeah. How'd you boys go today? Any in trouble or is this a peaceful protest?
I can't give any comments, I'm sorry.
Are you worried about us going extinct? Do you have your life raft prepared? Hey guys, I love your dress. That's an awesome dress. You had made a good speech. Can I just quickly ask why you guys were outside of the Australian today? What would you like them to be reporting on? Or not reporting on? Nothing? This is going to be seen by millions of people, guys. You don't want to say anything that could further your cause? Bye. Have a nice day. Prepare the rafts. Hey guys, how'd the protest go today?
I don't want to talk to you.
Why don't you want to talk to me?
Oh, we're just legal observers.
I'm a nice guy. I was just wanted to see what you thought about it, how it went. Bye. Hey guys, how was the protest today?
Good.
Was it a success?
You've been speaking with...
I have. We tried to have a conversation. We came over here wanting to have a peaceful conversation. We've heard some bad things about Extinction Rebellion. We've heard some good things about Extinction Rebellion. My name's Jake. And this guy thinks I'm a troll.
for you guys to say something that can like...
I'm not.
Just ask us why we're here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to know. I want to know why you're here. And this guy thinks that he's everyone's daddy. Nobody. I'm here by myself. I have a YouTube channel. This guy thinks he's everyone's daddy.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
You can walk away, buddy.
Okay, why are we here?
Why are you here? That's what I want to know.
I'm not part of the XR, so I can't answer that.
Basically, I just want to understand what exactly Extinction Rebellion stands for.
I'm not part of it.
Okay, well, you've got a Downy, no means no. So, what is the thing that you stand for most? If you could enact change in one area, what would it be?
Too hard to answer. Justice.
Justice for what?
Justice is an absolute, my friend.
Hey guys, how was the protest today?
Yeah, I think it went well. It was
Yeah.
really smooth. It was a great atmosphere. Lots of joyful truth speaking.
Yeah. And if you guys could say, in terms of what you were trying to achieve today, if you could enact change in one area, which one would it be? What would you do, guys, in terms of policy? Nothing? You guys don't have any policy suggestions? No policy suggestions?
Sorry, guys.
You're not a political... It's quite political, though. This is bizarre. Not one policy. They could not give me one policy change that they would like to enact. Not one. Here we go. Okay, thank you.
Extinction Rebellion have 3 demands.
Which is?
To tell the truth.
Yes, and what does that mean?
To tell the truth about the climate and ecological emergencies, to tell the truth in the newspapers, to tell the truth in the government.
Okay, well, what's the truth?
They do not represent us. The truth is that we're heading for a fucking extinction.
And by extinction you mean?
But I mean death.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and then demand 2 is act now. So act now on the climate.
Okay, well, if we're going to act now, what are we going to do? You tell me.
So we're going to cut our CO2 emissions.
Okay.
We're going to listen to the science.
Okay, just Australia?
Everywhere, the whole world. That's what the COP26 is all about.
But what about if
the
China and
conference of
India...
powers that are meeting together.
But what about if powers like China and India will not come to the table? Because it's quite obvious that they won't come to the table.
They are starting
and what
to
about
come
if the Paris Treaty would only solve about 0.1% of the emissions issue?
Who do you represent?
I represent myself.
Oh,
I'm
cool.
independent. I like to have
Yeah.
conversations with people.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah. So, and demand 3 is citizens binding citizens assemblies.
Yeah.
So, like, worldwide citizens coming together
Yeah.
and deciding what happens and working with nature, not against it.
Yeah.
You know, so no more mines, no more fracking, no more logging. Saving other creatures from extinction as well as human beings, koalas, sugar gliders. We've lost all our insects. You must know all this.
No, I do. But that's why I'm here to talk
why
to you,
we're-
because Extinction Rebellion gets a really bad rap in the
do.
media. And they also get a good rap from your side. So I'm here to talk to you guys
And
about
I'm
exactly
here
what
as
it
a
is that you do.
citizen. I'm here as a citizen and a registered nurse. I'm a professional.
What do you think
I'm
about...
an auntie.
What do you think about... I know
I'm
you do.
traumatised about the future.
But what do you think about the fact that as soon as we got here and we were trying to have a conversation, we were shut down and we had some absolute weirdo chasing me around telling me that I can't interview anyone when I'm just trying to have a conversation?
I don't know, maybe there was some concern about right-wing
Yeah.
media and giving us bad press, because there's been quite a lot of that about.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're just, like I say, we're just regular citizens organising ourselves. We're not fucking perfect.
And you know what?
I
I
mean?
love the fact that you guys had a peaceful protest today. You were
beautiful.
singing, you were
Yeah.
dancing,
That's why I
everybody was in unity and solidarity. You have a cause that you're looking towards, and I
Yeah.
love that. I respect that.
Yeah.
The only problems and the only issues that I would have with Extinction Rebellion is when I've done research about it in the past, there's been such policies as grounding all planes, you know, getting to complete zero emissions by 2025.
Yeah, that's true. We need zero emissions by 2025 to stay alive.
So the issue that I have with that is in terms of a cost-benefit analysis, if we're looking at saving lives, then that will cripple the economies of developing nations.
The economy is a man-made construct. The economy is not the important thing here. Nature is the important thing here. Look, it's going to be, look what's happening now, cyclones everywhere, floods,
Right.
fires. You know, people say, oh, it's all dooming and that, but that is going to be the fucking norm. 2019 fires is going to be the normal summer in Australia, and I don't want to live through that, and I don't want my niece and nephew to live through that, or anyone's children.
Right. Well,
I'm going to have a coffee now,
One
right?
more
Big
thing.
day.
One more thing. So, from the year 2000 to the year 2015, global poverty, in terms of abject poverty, $1.90 a day, underneath that, in terms of the UN standards, has halved. And that's largely due to rising economies in developing nations. So people aren't starving half as much as they used to be. It's an important statistic when we're talking about, you know, crippling the economies and the trade routes that we've got, and, you know, lowering fossil fuels. And
If we have a global response to the pandemic, we can have a global response to the climate crisis. So that includes everybody. And we are not safe till everyone's safe. And I'll just leave it at that.
okay, thank you so much for your interview. Have a great day. See? Conversation, guys. It's not hard to have. This lovely lady over here, I'm not sure what her name is, but she's very informed. She's got a very strong opinion. I respect it. Peaceful protest today. Congratulations to her. You know, as for the guy following us around, it's just shutting down dissent is never something you want to do, guys. You always want to have a conversations. This lady was able to back up what she was saying. I don't necessarily agree with everything she was saying. In fact, I agree with pretty much nothing which she was saying, but that's completely fine. We're two people. We're allowed to have differing points of views, and that's the way that things work. If we have these conversations, we can get to the bottom of things, guys. We can sharpen these arguments. We can get to the bottom of these philosophies, these issues, see who's right, who's wrong. Maybe we're both right, maybe we're both wrong. Conversation is everything, guys. Get informed, get involved.